Lake Powell is changing rapidly. Here's a brand new update of the lake that you're going to want to see before your next visit to Lake Powell. If you get any value from this video, please like and subscribe for more. All summer long, Lake Powell has experienced an increase in water level until the beginning of July, currently sitting at about 3,530 feet, which is about 18 feet lower than it was this time last year. We've seen about 1 inch to 2 inches decrease every day. This isn't a rapid change, however, we're going to show you some potentially dangerous areas, as well as give you a first-hand view of the lake. For anyone coming for the first time, Lone Rock Beach is just to the west of both Wah-Wheat marinas, but unfortunately there's no longer water surrounding it. There is, however, great camping still available and sand dunes for your off-road vehicles. Now back to Wah-Wheat Bay. Keep in mind that there's a new big island right in the center of Wah-Wheat Bay. It is a long spine, so stay to either side of it and you'll be fine. Right between Wah-Wheat Main Marina and Wah-Wheat Boat Rentals is State Line Launch Ramp. At the bottom, there's 4 lanes that are about 20 feet wide each. There's plenty of room for water sports in Wah-Wheat Bay, and there's plenty of beaches for houseboats, but there's a few areas that I would recommend avoiding or being very careful around. For example, I wouldn't enter into Ice Cream Canyon with your houseboat, and definitely be careful of rocky and shallow shoreline. Also, right before you get to Main Marina's no wake zone, there are 2 small islands that are getting bigger and bigger every week, so watch out for them. No wake zones are expanding and contracting this year, so it's taken a little longer to get anywhere on the lake, especially if you're trying to get out further than Padre Bay. As you're coming through Wah-Wheat Main Marina, you'll see beaches on your left where there may even already be houseboats beached. After you exit the marina, there's more beaches on your left before you get to the next no wake zone. It's important to note this no wake zone because while you're exiting, you'll take a left either to the main channel or a right for a quick detour to see the dam. As we're heading through the main channel, the first canyon that we get to is Antelope Canyon. This canyon keeps getting tighter every year, but kayakers love this access point and opportunity to see a portion of Antelope Canyon that's only accessible from the lake. Right now there seems to be room for a boat and a few kayaks, but this could change soon. This is actually the launch point for a lot of the kayaks that make it back into Antelope Canyon. And now we've arrived at Antelope Point Marina, the tightest and the last of the marinas or no wake zones before you get to the main part of the lake. This will be the last marina to fuel up at on your way out. Now that we've gotten through Antelope Point Marina, we're on our way to see Navajo Canyon. But stick around because we have important updates concerning Warm Creek Bay, Gunsight Canyon, and even all the way out to Rock Creek Bay. There's a lot of good boating in Navajo Canyon, but as far as houseboats are concerned, it's the only canyon wide enough to really go back and explore with your houseboat. There are spots that you can beach your houseboat, you just have to be very careful to pick the right beach. And the spots change continuously with the water level. When you get to this beach, you're nearing the end. If you make a left, there are a couple more beaches for houseboats, but you quickly get to the end where it's shallowing up and comes to an end. If you get back all the way, turn around and look up to your right, there is a clearly visible arch right there. Next stop is Warm Creek Bay. As you can see, there's plenty of hazards involved with getting into Warm Creek Bay, but there is plenty of room for both water sports and beaching your houseboat. You just have to be very careful in choosing a beach. You want a beach that pitches into the water plenty and is soft. Next on the lake is my personal favorite, Labyrinth Canyon. As far as I could tell, there were no houseboat spots within Labyrinth Canyon, but it's still a great boat or jet ski ride in. I highly recommend trying to get all the way back in and heading in on foot to get to the slot canyons. That is if it's good weather and there hasn't been any flooding. However, right now it did not seem accessible. This changes often, so I would recommend going back for yourself and seeing. Across from Labyrinth Canyon is Gunsight Canyon. There is a lot of shallow, rocky areas as you're trying to enter this canyon, but there are beaches for houseboats and room in there to play around if you're careful getting back in there. However, there is a lot more space just on the other side of Gunsight Butte, on the Padre Bay side of Gunsight Butte. This is a giant bay with several great big rock formations that you'll want to see on your trip. This is also a big bay that's perfect for wakeboarding, wake surfing, and water skiing. There are some spots further in Padre Canyon, but one of my favorite spots is actually closer to Cookie Jar. Actually, on both sides of Cookie Jar, there is beachy areas in what is called Cane Creek Canyon, and along the backside, even more spots in Cane Wash. Don't go anywhere, we still have Face Canyon, Last Chance Bay, and Rock Creek Bay, which includes our Toilet Bowl 2 update, so stay right here. If you were heading up lake and passing Padre Bay, watch out for the shallow areas around the corner of Padre Butte. Next, we're getting to Face Canyon. On my way into the canyon, I did see a few places for houseboats to beach. This is a beautiful canyon that's honestly not talked about enough. The biggest concerns out here are fuel, so just watch your gauges. The next areas are technically past the Buoy 25 that Wahweap Boat Rentals is enforcing. However, just past that is Last Chance Bay. I've heard it can be difficult to find a beach, and it is quite a ways back, so be prepared for that. If you continue around Gregory Butte and Camel Rock, you soon will get to Rock Creek Bay. This is as far as we went on this trip because I wanted to see the Toilet Bowl 2 and check out what it's looking like this year with the lower levels. Here's what Toilet Bowl 2 is looking like. I honestly would not recommend anyone attempting this year, even if you can climb up to it. This area is gorgeous. There are some places for houseboats, and there's a lot less people out here. If you use the pump out or bathroom station at Rock Creek, keep in mind that it's extremely shallow. This is what it was like for us. I hope this video has provided you value and that you'll follow for more. I have videos releasing every single week. And for those that are still watching, I have a big update coming soon. I'm being sent on an up lake mission that you guys cannot even believe. I can't believe it. And also, I will be giving away a few prizes to subscribers at the end of my 1 year mark. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.